Okay, Saturday, 23rd of November 2024. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Psychology Saturday. Understand yourself and others. Understanding the spotlight fallacy. Now, this is a very interesting fallacy, a way of thinking, a mistaken error that we do. And that the more you think about it, the more illogical it kind of becomes. So the spotlight fallacy is that everyone is essentially looking at you, like a spotlight. The limelight's on you. Everyone's looking at you. So you're less willing, less tenacious, more timid to do stuff because you think everyone is looking at you. Or the opposite is true. You're more willing and emboldened to do things because you think everyone is paying attention to you. You could say it's narcissistic. You could say it's a bit solipsistic. But the world revolves around you, that old saying, that old chestnut. Now, I did a video about this a few months ago talking about the world is complicated, don't be so narcissistic. Very important. So that means then that most of the time people are not really paying attention to you for good or for bad reasons and for good or for bad way of looking at it. Most people are going to forget about you within seconds of seeing you. In the streets, in the bars, in the shop, you name it, anywhere. Within reason, they're going to forget about you almost as quickly as they see you. So then you could say, are truly people paying attention to you? Is the spotlight truly on you if they're going to look at you and then forget about you as soon as they look away? They're going to continue with their day. Because you could invert it as well and say, well, how many people do you see in the day that you remember explicitly or you pay attention to explicitly? Invert it. Very, 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 very few. So that kind of shows them that there's no reason to be so timid or shy because most people are not really going to care. Lack of a better word, they're not really going to care. They're going to move on with their life. They're going to do something else. They're going to see you and move on. Likewise, at the same time, if most people are not really caring or looking at you, then doing stuff, you could say, to try hard to get attention or do more unique stuff to get attention makes sense. And that's quite emboldening, actually, because when you start to realize that people are not paying attention to you, it means that you can do more stuff. There's less reason to be timid. There's more reason to be active or more daring, more tenacious, because no one cares. No one's going to worry. No one's going to think about you. As long as it's nothing embarrassing or drastic, things like that, people are not going to care. A few days ago, a week ago, I was walking through one of the neighborhoods here in San Salvador, Soyapango in the east. People would have seen me, noticed that I'm a foreigner, and straight away, soon afterwards, forgotten all about me because they got other things in their lives to sort out. Again, the world is complicated. Don't be so narcissistic. Meaning, we all have our own problems and things to sort out. We ain't got time or interest to focus on this random person we see on the street. That spotlight effect. Ain't got time. Ain't got the priorities. More important things to do. More pressing things to sort out. Cars, when they drive past, they're going to see you, but the driver's not going to care. They've got more important things to sort out or worry about. Most people in the world are going to be focused on their own thing. So that spotlight effect increasingly becomes illogical because inverted, how many people do you pay attention to? And other people have got more important things to sort out or worry or focus on than random me, random him, random her, whatever else. More important things to do. Makes sense. And I think when you understand that, they've got more important things to do, that the whole reason to be timid or shy, or maybe lacking self-esteem or whatever else, that timidness, through logic, it gets that problem, that timidness gets suppressed. Because logically speaking, no one's going to care. Within reason, they're all going to move on with their life. And think about it, the vast majority of your life you don't remember. And they're just going to move on. They're going to do something else, they're going to see you and move on, and that's it. So it's powerful. That's quite powerful. Because then that means then that if there are people here and there and wherever else, they're not going to care about you. So again, as long as you're not doing something embarrassing or crazy or ridiculous, they're not going to care. That's powerful. That's good and bad. They're not going to care in a sense of no one's going to stop you, no one's going to get in your way. But also at the same time, unless you give them a real reason to care, they're not going to care. Just human nature, human narcissism, human solipsism, I guess. It's just the way it is. And that's powerful, because through logic, you can increase self-esteem, increase confidence, increase tenacity, and decrease timidness. By understanding this profound concept, the spotlight effect, it itself is a bit illogical, because no one really cares about you. Even though you might think the world is looking at you, the world is paying attention to you, maybe that's narcissism, maybe it's solipsism, but it's illogical. Again, how many people do you pay attention to when you see on the street, or how many memories specifically do you have? Where were you on the 17th of July at 2 p.m., for example? Most of life, for reasons we don't remember. And that's quite powerful. That's quite powerful, because then you're more willing to be a bit more tenacious, more willing to do or say things, because they're going to forget about me anyway in seconds, moments, things like that. Powerful. Very, very powerful. And worth understanding in life. Don't be so narcissistic. Oh, the world is complicated. Don't be so narcissistic. Why would people care? Why would people care? Give them a reason. If they don't care enough, the keyword there is enough, they're not going to bother. Oh, who is that? Oh, I saw someone. This is there's a nice concept in psychology. Civil inattention, that's it. Civil inattention. Civil inattention. You're acknowledging other people when you're walking down the street. You acknowledge them there, their presence, but you don't really bother. You walk around them, you don't talk to them, you don't acknowledge them. Civil inattention. You're paying attention to them being there physically in the space, but that's it. Beyond that, that's it. And there's a very nice word in English as well. Sonder or sondar. I always forget which one it is. Sonder or S-O-N-D-E-R or S-O-N-D-A-R. I always forget which one. Which talks about how people's lives out there are as infinitely complicated as our own. When you look at the city skyline and you see all those lights in the building, every single light and every single car is a person. And that person's life is as infinitely complicated as our own. Complicated. So why would they care about you? When you're walking on the street, why would they care? And that's that logic kicking in. Why would they care? They've got their own life, their own problems, hopes, desires, dreams, values, standards, expectations, you name it. Why would they bother? Well, they're not, unless you give them a good enough reason to care. And the key word there is enough. It has to be enough. Otherwise, whatever. Who was that? I saw someone. What was that? Who? What hat was he wearing? What colour shirt? Don't know. Civil inattention. In one ear, out the other. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. But yes. But otherwise, Adrian's Daily Vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.